Hello everyone, it is Sirenu-Eve art, and today we're back with doing a little watercolour painting. I'm using my typical Sea White sketchbook. You've seen this a few times when I did the magpie painting, when I've did the sky painting in my AQUAFINE review, and several other ones. But today I'm just doing a simple painting using the Daler and Rowney AQUAFINE. If you want to know what the swatches are like and what the colour ranges are, there is a previous video which I'll link in the bottom, and I'll also put at the end of the video that you can watch. And I did a whole review. I did the swatches of each shade and everything, used the paintbrush that it comes with, and just went on about it a little bit more. I have read some previous comments on that as well, and I have read online about different things about the AQUAFINE Daler and Rowney. It gets very mixed reviews. Some people say they're really good for the price especially. Other people say not so brilliant. I have read reviews that they can be a little bit not as pigmented as they would like. They can take up the paper a little bit, so it can give you a bit of a gravelly like grit-like effect. There was some saying that the pans actually fall out of the plastic container that it comes in. So I've heard a few different things, but I find with a lot of watercolour palettes, no matter which ones you get, I've had several where they've just fell out the pans, and a lot of the times once you start using them and they've been like wet once from being painted with, they tend to just never fall out the pans again. So a lot of the times I don't actually think that's an error in any company's pans. I think it's just the colour block obviously is way smaller, or a little bit smaller than the actual pan size, which is probably just an average pan size that most palettes use, and then they tend to fall out. But like I said, once you start using putting water on them and things, I feel like they're fine and they stick back in. That didn't happen with this one though. I did have it happen with Royal Talon's palette, and also a palette I made with the Cotman watercolours as well. One of them fell out, but I just put some water, a little bit of water in, and it stayed. So that was that. But yeah, I didn't really have much issues using this. I did only use the white and black range as I'm painting just a little inspirational fish idea that came up in my head. I have a bit of an obsession of painting like koi style fish. This one's a little bit more imagination viewpoint, as I did like a little skeleton effect on it at the end, which you will see. So I only used the black and the white, so I can't really judge too much of the colour ranges. The black wasn't obviously as pigmented as some other watercolours I've used. The Cotman watercolour and the, is it Royal? No, not Royal Talons. The Cotman and the Maya watercolours, the black in them two were far more pigmented than the AQUAFINE one. So it did take about 3 layers of paint, like of the black paint, to get like full pigment. I should have really done this painting in acrylic, because I wanted it to be quite dark. And then just have like a light wash background with like a little bit of like an ink splat effect, which you'll see is doing now. But I think I still was happy with the way it turned out. This is just my general opinion. So if you want something that's a bit more pigmented, I would definitely recommend Winsor & Newton Cotman watercolours. The Maya watercolours are really good. Obviously the professional ranges as well, but if you just want something a bit more student range, them two I'd definitely recommend. I've also tried the Van Gogh watercolours, and I find they're quite good as well. It's just trying to get them, because a lot of times you'll find you have to just get them online. Some art places do tend to sell them, but it can be a bit hit or miss if you can get them, and usually it's just the palettes they'll sell, and sometimes they can be a little bit pricey, and they do tend to be cheaper online for the Van Gogh. But pigment range in them, they're quite good as well. So if you want something a bit more pigmented, they're probably a bit better. The AQUAFINE are a little light, but most watercolours are. You tend to have to do several layers if you want to be a bit deeper or a bit darker. But either way, still turned out fine. And that is pretty much all I'll be doing in this video. It's not a very long video for this week. It's just something to add on and just see how it turned out. You will also see with the white as well, the white really wasn't pigmented at all in the AQUAFINE, I won't lie. So I could picture people struggling using the white in this Daler and Rowney AQUAFINE to do like highlights, things like that. I did eventually get there. I just had to let it dry each time fully and then go back over it in the white. Once again, like I said, I didn't give it the easiest painting. I should have really done this in acrylics, even though it's like such a simple outline of just a bog standard fish, and obviously the skeleton that I did on top of it isn't like to actual match what a fish's skeleton would look like. This was just in my head. I just came up with this concept and idea. So really I probably could have done it in acrylics or even gouache, just if I wanted a bit more pigment, and it probably would have been less wasteful as well on the white, because I did put quite a dent in the white and the AQUAFINE Daler and Rowney, but hey ho, they're there to be used. But yes, I will let the video continue, and that is just my general opinions. I hope you enjoy. Just popping back in to say, I didn't realise how bright some of these the scenes are in this. So I do apologise if some bits are really bright, and obviously when I'm painting, my shadow is casted over because I am left-handed and I use natural lighting to film most of my videos, which is on the left-hand side as well. So not the best. I should have really sat the opposite way of my desk, but I didn't think about that at the time. So there is some scenes throughout this video that's a little bit on the bright side, and obviously shadow is casting from the water jar I have for my watercolours, and also obviously my hand with the paintbrush in it. So I do apologise in advance, but in most parts of the main bits and that, I think it's a clear enough shot, and it isn't too bad, but once again, do apologise. Whoopsie. We'll remember for next time. that, guys, is pretty much the end of the video. This is just a little quick view of what it ended up looking like. I did find this really cute. I don't know why. I have a bit of an obsession with koi fish, as I said to begin with, but I just had this idea to paint it to look a bit skeletal. So I thought that I would do that. And using AQUAFINE was really easy. They were quite good to use. Like I said, though, not the most pigmented watercolours that I've ever used. So obviously if you're looking for like pigment, gouache and acrylics probably is far better, or a bit of a higher end type of watercolour. But yes, I hope you enjoyed the video. This was just my little inspirational idea that popped into my head to do. So it has no deeper meaning other than that. But I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I would really appreciate if you give it a like and a subscribe. But no pressure. You do what you want. But once again, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!